I cannot believe. What if one of my little ones had been where I was or where she was? Only what? What was it, 3 weeks ago?
This is the same old, same old.
I cannot believe. I cannot believe that I have done all this to save you, to save Truly, to save my children. I did not know that it wouldn't harm them. I was trying to protect them, and I got criticism from you and from my boys. The worst criticism, zero respect.
And it's not all my fault.
Ah, yes, another stunning performance from the Flagstaff Community Theater, proudly presenting the Coyote Pass players. Truly an award-winning display, at least in his own mind. You just know he's rehearsed this moment, poorly, in front of his bathroom mirror 100 times, probably with Robyn off to the side holding up scorecards like an Olympic judge. And yet, somehow, it still flops. Lately, he's been giving more interviews, boldly declaring himself as someone who doesn't hold back. Translation: I'm still that 17-year-old big man on campus from my tiny hometown, and I demand to be the center of attention. Everyone, look at me. Wah! We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Mary, you gave up your legal marriage so Robyn's kids could be adopted. How's that working out for you? Do they visit? Call you on your birthday? Or was it all for nothing? Honestly, watching that season was painful. Mary was basically voted off Marriage Island, while Kody&Robyn sailed off into their happily ever after, leaving her to fend for herself. Rewatching the older seasons with the hindsight of how it all ends. Brutal. You can see the fallout happening in real time. It's heartbreaking. But hey, maybe Mary sees it as a blessing in disguise. No more splitting her LLR earnings. No need to buy out Kody's share of the B&B. Her money is finally her own. Small wins, right? As for Robyn's kids, they don't seem to have much of a relationship with the OG 3 wives. But then again, they never really had to be adopted, did they? That was all Robyn's idea, some next-level manipulation. Honestly, what she did to her kids and their relationship with their father might be even worse than what she did to Mary. At least Mary was an adult. Kody is unraveling and dragging Robyn down with him. Now, don't get me wrong, I dislike Robyn as much as the next fan, but can you imagine living under the same roof as Kody? She's openly admitted that he picks fights with her and bullies her, and in the latest episode, we saw Kody himself say he does it as a way to punish himself. The narcissism is unreal. He doesn't even register that tormenting Robyn is bad for Robyn, only how it affects him. He's even flat out admitted to being nasty to her, and at one point, he basically hinted that he might want to leave, saying that on national television, that's a new level of cruel. And then there's the whole separate car situation. Every time they travel, Kody&Robyn take different vehicles. At first, it seemed like a half-hearted attempt to avoid looking too in love and sparing the other wives' feelings. But honestly, it's starting to look more like Kody just wants to be alone, all the time. At this point, I'd say he's completely neglecting Robyn. This is a pattern with him. When Kody met Robyn, he abandoned his first 3 wives to chase whatever he wanted in the moment. And now, he's doing the exact same thing to Robyn, turning his back on her to wallow in his own bitterness. Anytime he's unhappy, he goes for some huge, drastic change. When he was young and directionless, he threw himself into a fringe religious movement. Later, he convinced himself that his true purpose was building a massive family. When that got too difficult and, let's be honest, boring, he found a new obsession, falling in love for the first time, launching a reality TV show, and moving to Las Vegas. For a while, that was enough of a distraction. Sure, his first 3 marriages were in shambles, but that was easy to ignore when he had Robyn and his new fame to focus on. But then, that got boring too. Now he's out of Vegas. His reality show makes him look like a complete failure, and Robyn, his last shiny new thing, has lost her novelty. So what's his next move? Now he's picking fights with Robyn because, frankly, she's the only one left to fight with. Drama and blame shifting are basically his daily routine at this point. And let's not forget Robyn's little victim act. She knows the audience can't stand her, so now she's trying to win sympathy points, not buying it. Honestly, a lot of this feels like manufactured nonsense for the show. They're trying to make it seem like their relationship is struggling when, in reality, they're perfectly fine being monogamous. They've even stopped filming one-on-one interviews, probably to keep up the illusion of tension. At the end of the day, Kody and Robyn are monogamous. They just don't want to admit it because plural marriage was their golden ticket. The real question is, how long can they keep this charade going before the show finally gets the axe? Because let's be real, none of them are interesting on their own. The only thing that ever made them watchable was the family dynamic, and that's long gone. Robyn and her infamous food control. Honestly, it's been a thing from the start. We've all talked about the don't take anything from the fridge without asking Robyn or Mendy rule, but rewatching from the beginning really drives home how deep this goes. Case in point, Season 2, Episode 2. Janelle and Kody are off camping, Christine is out grocery shopping, and Mary and Robyn are left in charge of the kids. The kids ask for a snack, reasonable enough, so Isabel pours herself a small bowl of cereal. Enter Robyn, who, in true Robyn fashion, snatches it away and scolds her. It's supposed to be a snack, not a meal, Isabel. And then, cut to another scene. Did she ever give the cereal back? Who knows? But the fact that she even took it in the first place, yikes. This isn't an isolated moment either. Robyn has always been weird about sharing food with the other mom's kids. There's the cereal incident, her complaining about them raiding her fridge for leftovers, and let's not forget the time there wasn't enough food at Truly's birthday party. She's the worst sister wife, hands down. She never treated the other kids like her own, and it showed. And let's be real, it was never about portion control or keeping the kids from overeating. Robyn's own kids don't exactly look like food is scarce in their house. No, this was about something else entirely. She simply didn't care to feed Kody's other children. Meanwhile, over in Christine's kitchen, a completely different story. Christine loves that Logan, and the rest of the kids raid her leftovers. Janelle even jokes that she does it too, because Christine's just that good of a cook. But sure, Robyn and Kody, keep wondering why Christine was the heart of the family and not you two. Oh, and while the family is budget shopping, Robyn somehow has name-brand snacks and food. They blur out the labels, but it's obvious. Priorities, right? Kody won't even say his kids' names. Not once. Not a single time. He's so disconnected from reality, and from his own children, that he just lumps them all together as Janelle's kids. Because apparently acknowledging them as individuals would make it harder to justify his neglect. During the one-on-one, Suki asked him about skipping Christmas with Christine and Janelle's his kids. And after wading through his usual word salad, it hit me, he hasn't actually said the names of the children he's estranged from in episodes. It's like he scrubbed any emotional connection or memories of them from his brain. Just a clean slate where his kids used to be. And of course, he's including poor Savannah in his ridiculous, Cole's comment. Classy, Kody, real classy. This is classic emotional detachment. It's easier to be cruel when you dehumanize people, when you strip them of their names and reduce them to a vague, faceless them. That's how he justifies his behavior. If he doesn't see them as real, individual people, then he doesn't have to feel bad about how he treats them. It's a textbook tactic. And honestly, as heartbreaking as it is, I think a clean break is better for the kids. Sure, it's painful, but it's probably healthier than being stuck in his web of manipulation and half-truths. Meanwhile, we're all witnessing how Robyn's kids are turning out, the keep sweet, obey, and never question approach. I genuinely feel for them. Breaking free from that mindset is going to be so much harder when you've been raised to believe that independent thought is practically a sin. At this point, I'd say Kody's relationships with most of his adult kids are beyond repair. The longer he sits back and does nothing, the more impossible it will be to mend those bonds. And let's be real, he's been outright awful to their mothers. If I were his kid, that alone would give me serious pause about ever wanting a relationship with him again. A lot of people call Christine dramatic in the early seasons when Robyn entered the picture, but let's take a step back and look at what was actually happening. She was pregnant, hormonal, exhausted, and carrying a human inside her, while Kody was off playing Romeo with his new love interest. And if that wasn't bad enough, right after giving birth to Truly, instead of being a supportive husband and bonding with their newborn, Kody was busy running off to see Robyn, because, priorities. Oh, and let's not forget that iconic moment. Christine watching Kody get dressed for a date with Robyn, and suddenly realizing, oh damn, he's actually in love with her, while she was pregnant. Yeah, I'm sure that felt fantastic. Name one woman who wouldn't have an emotional breakdown in that situation. I'll wait. Kody, of course, was so subtle about it. He even bragged in the early seasons about how Christine saw how lovesick he was and basically told him he had to marry Robyn. Sounds sweet, right? Except, let's be real, he knew exactly what he was doing. He was pulling the classic woe is me act, acting devastated because Christine didn't immediately roll out the red carpet for Robyn. He didn't ask permission to court her. He just did it, and then expected the wives to fall in line. And let's not forget, Christine originally thought she was going to be the third and final wife. In their faith, having 3 wives is a big deal for men, and Christine always envisioned herself holding that spot. She was the newest wife for 16 years, and then, bam, Robyn shows up. That had to be a brutal wake-up call. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she was completely blindsided by the whole thing. So was Christine dramatic? Maybe. But did she have every reason to be? Absolutely. Robyn swore there would be no more kids, until, conveniently, right before a crucial investor meeting for MSWC, when she suddenly declared she couldn't possibly have another child without help. Help for what, exactly? Did we miss something? Is she drowning in shipping orders, sketching groundbreaking jewelry designs, drafting a business plan, negotiating with vendors? What exactly is this overwhelming workload she speaks of? Oh wait, was this the soft launch of the nanny? Meanwhile, Kody, ever the business mogul, somehow convinced himself that venture capitalists would line up to invest in this train wreck. The man walked into the meeting with no business plan, no concept of valuations, just pure delusion, and watching it unfold, mortifying. I mean, secondhand embarrassment doesn't even cover it. And of course, in the process of chasing this fantasy, he managed to crush Mary's dream of going back to school. One of the absolute worst moments of the show, just gut-wrenching. But if we're talking worst moments, the divorce episodes take the cake. Robyn, zero acknowledgement of how painful this was for Mary. In fact, when she was told the divorce was final, her reaction? Something along the lines of, oh, thank God that crap is over. Real compassionate. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, she insisted Mary attend the marriage license signing for her and Kody, while Mary was literally in tears, saying she didn't want to go. Like, how much more cruel could she be? And let's be real, Robyn only pushed the whole no kids until I get help thing because Mary wanted to go back to school. In a confessional, she even admitted she was afraid Mary would make new friends and gasp, be influenced away from the family. Heaven forbid someone break free. Fast forward a few seasons and suddenly, Robyn is having mystical visions of a dark-haired little boy and desperately wants another baby. Kody, ever the romantic, shot back with, all my sins are blonde like me. So unless you want to adopt, I don't know where you're getting a dark-haired little boy. And just like that, the baby talk ended. Funny how fast she dropped it the moment adoption was on the table. almost like it was never about the baby in the first place. So let me get this straight. It's perfectly fine for Robyn to leave a bad marriage, but when anyone else dares to do the same, it's suddenly the end of the world. Funny how no one ever asks her why she gets a free pass. Even better, no one calls her out for stringing Meri along all these years. At this point, the only real satisfaction I get is watching how quickly Robyn is aging. Girl, that neck situation, might want to get it checked out. And let's not forget Janelle. She was also divorced from Meri's brother, no less, and that was apparently no big deal either. But sure, let's all keep pretending that Kody's whole "no one is a prisoner" speech actually means something. Spoiler alert, it only applies if everyone agrees to stay trapped. Robyn's hypocrisy is next level. When Christine left, she acted like it was the ultimate betrayal, whining about wasted years and how Christine couldn't just walk away. But remind me, didn't Robyn walk away from her first husband? Or was she pushed? Either way, she's fine with leaving when it suits her, but the OG3? Nope, they need to stick around so she can keep living her cozy little porch dream. Never mind the fact that they were emotionally neglected and mentally abused by Kody. Just keep sacrificing, ladies. Oh, and here's what they never really explain. Both Robyn and Janelle were married in the church and were likely divorced through the church. They were spiritually unsealed. In the AUV, the Brown family's church, if you leave a marriage without being properly unsealed, you risk your afterlife. That's why Kody won't release them. Notice how he phrases it to Meri. You're leaving because I can't give you what you want. Convenient, right? Janelle, on the other hand, is still technically married to Kody because she doesn't know how to be unsealed, especially now that they're no longer part of the church. Meri, at least, found her loophole. She played the Kody broke the covenant card, saying, "He's the one who said he's no longer married to me." Translation, I was loyal, but he quit first. Smooth move, Meri. Why does Robyn only go after Christine? For the last 2 seasons, she's acted like Christine personally launched an attack on her. But if you actually pay attention, it's Janelle who calls her out the most. Janelle has flat out said things like Counselor Robyn, with that signature eye roll, and she's been direct about not wanting a relationship with her. At least Christine said for now. Janelle also doesn't hesitate to point out how Robyn inserts herself where she doesn't belong, takes resources that should have been shared, and well, the list goes on. So why does Robyn still make Christine the villain of the story? Simple, because she would never dare come after Janelle the same way. Janelle knows way too much about the family's financial skeletons. My theory? Kody went on a full-blown rant about Christine leaving, got fixated on her betrayal, and especially lost it over her taking the money from her house sale. And Robyn? She's scared of Janelle because Janelle never fell for her act. She saw right through her from the start, but was still willing to be a team player. Exactly the kind of person Robyn doesn't know how to manipulate. And let's be real, Christine is everything Robyn wants to be but never will be. She's the kid's favorite, the heart of the family, the one everyone naturally gravitates toward. Robyn wants the praise Christine got, but she refuses to put in the effort. That's what really baffles her, how Christine made it look so effortless. Cue the dramatic villain music. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.